I got into the car and I put my bag in there. I looked back, and that was the last I seen of my mom and dad's house for a long time.
Good evening. We begin tonight with an emotional story on human trafficking, a global problem, but one that local officials are tackling head on to make a difference.
Ohio is the first state to require all law enforcement and truckers to be trained to spot human trafficking. Channel 3's Hillary Golston is live tonight to explain. Hi, Hillary.
Hi there, Russ and Sarah. Ohio State Highway Patrol says specifically that truck stops are places where often there's a problem, where people who are the most vulnerable amongst us are exploited. Sometimes sex trafficking beginning as early as 11 and 14 years old. Rachel Kasich was only 16 when she was taken from her family.
Have you ever went on the highway and there was no lights out there?
Yes.
Okay, I would be standing out there, flagging down trucks.
Rachel Kasich was only 16 years old when it began.
There was a lot of girls. You could get anything you wanted out of the 76.
She was being trafficked at a truck stop.
It was hot, meaning there was a lot of cops out there, but they just didn't know how to bust us.
Spotting the signs.
Force, fraud, coercion.
All law enforcement.
It's teaching me a lot.
All truckers learning how to stop human trafficking.
Being a father, I don't know how to, get the rest of that out.
I was more a timid girl.
For Kasich, it started when she was innocent.
He looked over at me and he said, "Do you think things in life are for free?" And I said, I didn't know what that meant. I'm a 16-year-old girl, and he's asking me this question, and he said, things in life aren't for free, meaning you're fitting to pay me.
What do you think is going on, in the mind of a man who could allow something like that to happen?
When I think back then, when I was that young, I was so numb to everything. I wasn't even on drugs then. I was more or less scared of him. I used to get beat.
Truck stops are really for the truckers to have brakes and get rest in their trucks, so those should be immediate red flags.
Renee Jones of Renee Jones Empowerment has been instrumental in teaching people to spot the signs so those who saw Rachel today would know to speak up.
They didn't have the education. They was blindsided with all them girls in that truck stop. If one police officer would have just took me aside and said, "What are you doing out here?"
And the National Human Trafficking Resource Center reports that when it began in December of 2007, it had 3 calls from truckers. Today, over 1,100 calls have come in, and victim rescues are real. Since 2003, a coordinated effort, including the FBI, has rescued more than 4,800 kids and convicted more than 2,000 wrongdoers. Now, if you need help or you see something and you want to say something, you can head to our website, WKYC.com. We've got a link up there where you can learn a lot more information about how to spot the signs of human trafficking. We're live tonight. I'm Hillary Golston, Channel 3 News. Good evening, Sarah. And Ohio City, just a few hours down the road, has been ranked number 4 in the country for human trafficking. It's Toledo. The U.S. State Department calls this issue modern slavery. Ohio State Highway Patrol told me some very personal stories in this class, many of them leaving a victim saying, "Thank God, what saved me was that trucker."
He said, "If you go home, your dad's gonna beat you." I'm believing this.
What the man who sex trafficked Rachel Kasich at the age of 16 told her.
Exactly. That's what they did to this young lady. They cut the bottom of her feet.
In a different story, the realities of modern day slavery laid out.
She leaves the house, go for a walk because she just got in a fight with her mom. Guy pulls up next to her.
Story after story.
Let's rescue them, get them home. That's what's important.
Told for truckers in Ohio.
A lot of sets of eyes out there.
That's why we're asking to get this message out. That's the main reason. But normally I close with that, but I'll take advantage of it.
You steal your thunder, but
No, you know what? It comes in real handy because, like I said, you can be in Ohio today.
yeah.
You can be Nebraska tomorrow.
All right. They can watch for trafficking signs at stops and along highways. Ohio has been ranked as high as 5th in the U.S. for the number of human trafficking cases.
I can't say on TV what I would do to anybody that I knew or had the chance to get my hands upon that person that abducted my child.
More than 1,000 children in Ohio are victims of human sex trafficking every year. On average, prostitution beginning sometime between 11 and 14 years old.
One of his pimp friends said, take her to the truck stop.
Take her to the truck stop. That's part of why law enforcement knows eyes trained on truck stops can make a big difference here. Kasich said sometimes she'd be at a stop for 2 days at a time. At 11, we'll have an in-depth one-on-one with Kasich about her trafficking at these truck stops went on for years. Plus, we'll show some numbers that indicate truckers can really help here in bringing these victims home to their families, Sarah.